What is going on, guys? Chris here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to solve the 5x5 using the Hoya method. So first things first, I just want to apologise for how late this video is. As some of you know, I was away in Greece for 2 weeks and then I've had to switch between university and my home in Manchester quite a lot. So I've been moving around a lot, I've not really had time to plan or make videos, but here I am making this video, so let's just get started. So this video is kind of less of a tutorial and more of just a walkthrough solve. I've been learning how to use Hoya a lot on the 5x5, more so even than the 4x4, and I really enjoy it, so I thought I would show you guys how this method works, what it's like, and then a few little things to get you guys started using Hoya as well. So the first thing about Hoya is the centers, just like any 5x5 solve, but we do it in a bit of a strange order. What you're supposed to do is do two opposite centers, another two centers adjacent from one another, and then you leave two centers out at the end. I'm not going to be doing quite that. I'm going to be doing it in a bit of a different order. I'm going to be starting by solving the white center as I would if I was just using reduction. So we all know how to do that. I do it by just matching up the center with one of my edge center pieces, and then I find this block of two here, so I'm just going to match them up like so, just like that. I notice this corner with this edge, so I match it up and put it down there like so, and then I know that I have three pieces left, so I'm just going to do them all in one. So we can match up this piece down here with this piece here, and then we can finally finish by matching this guy with this guy down here. And there's our first center done. Probably not the most efficient way to do it. I'm not very good at 5x5. I can solve in about 2.5 minutes consistently, so not very fast, but there you go. There is our first center done. So if I was to solve normally, I would just skip straight to the yellow center, but because this is Hoya, we want to leave this center out. And what I'll be doing next is actually the red center instead. So how are we going to do this? Well, basically the same thing as with reduction. I'm just going to build this center as I would normally. I see that we have a row across here, so what I'm going to be doing is actually keeping this preserved and just build blocks of 3 along my way. So I see this guy down here can match with these two. So we can do that very easily and then restore our center, which is here. Next up, I'm going to match these two with this red guy here. Do that quite easily, and there you go, we've already made our center. Okay, so then I kind of work my way around the color scheme. So the next one is going to be blue, and the good thing about Hoya on 5x5 is you can't actually mess up the centers because your very center piece tells you what color that face is going to be. So I see these two edge center pieces here, so I'm going to match them up with the center just like so. Then of course put them back because we don't want to mess up our red. So now that we've got this row here done, we want to build the rest of it. So what I see we can do is actually, I'm going to have to match up this piece with this corner down here. So we can do that quite easily, just like so. Unfortunately we have to break up this piece. You might not have to, I just don't know the algorithm for how you would do that. But we match up this long piece here, restore our center of course, and then we're just going to build the rest of it. So this corner is going to match up with this corner down here, so let's do that. Okay, and now these two blue corners are going to match up with this blue edge. So let's also do that. And then finally we're going to match up this trio of center pieces with the blue center itself, and there you go. So now we have almost all of our centers done. We just need to build one more, and that's going to be the orange center right here. So I can solve this quite easily. I see that we have this nice trio here, so I'm going to match up this corner with these two pieces and insert them as I do it. Then I'm going to match up this corner with this edge, just like so. And then finally we're going to match up this corner with these two pieces, just like so. and then we're finally going to slide it into our place. So now we have 4 of our 6 centers done, and this is exactly what we need for Hoya. So for those of you that saw my 4x4 Hoya video, you kind of know what happens next. A bit like Yao, we are now going to build our white edges. As you can see, we've got quite lucky here because we already have one of them done for us. So what I'm going to do is just slide this into place right here. As you can see, it matches up with our centers as well. So next one I'm going to do is I'm just going to work my way around, stick to the color scheme, just so it's a bit easier for you guys to follow. So I know that over here we are going to have the blue and white. So what we want to do here is bring the space we're dealing with into the very front. And on the front and top we want our unfinished centers. Notice how all the other centers are already done. But we keep our broken centers on the top and on the front. And I know that I'm going to be building the blue edge now. So what we want first and foremost is the middle piece, and as you can see, that's already in there. If we imagine that this was blue, it matches up white and blue. So we need to find our other blue piece, and I see that we have one here and we have one over here. So I don't have to worry about this one quite yet, so I'm going to bring this piece out. We want it in the top layer, as you can see. And we want it so that we can move it down just like so with one move. But obviously that's not going to work. We want to keep our centers nice and easy. Now the reason that we keep the broken centers in the top and the front is that we can mess with these as much as we want and not have to worry about undoing anything. So if we move this blue and white piece out of the way, if we open up this slot, put the piece in and place it back down again, as you can see, we've successfully put this part of our edge next to the center that we wanted, and we've not actually messed up any of our centers. Of course, we've messed around with these two, but we never built on them, so we don't have a problem. So next up we have the last blue and white piece, and that's right here. And this is a bit problematic because we can't just pop it in like this. It's a bit more difficult than that, and we actually have to use an algorithm for this. So what we do is we have the piece basically on the front up face, and we're just going to have to do a quick 7-move algorithm. We're going to have to open our slot like so, do a U2, bring it down, and now we have the regular case in which we move it out of the way, open the slot, pop our piece in, and then restore it and pop it down. And now as you can see, we've got 2 of our edges done, absolutely finished. Okay, so next up, let's move our way around. We move this blue and white edge to the side, and that leaves us with the slot for our white and orange. So obviously we need to find the middle piece for our white and orange, and well, where's it got to? It's actually over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it out into the top layer, making sure I don't mess up both the edges and the centers. Okay, so we know that we're going to be building it here. So I bring it to the front up face, as I have here. And then because we don't have white facing and white is facing upwards, we have one of those problematic situations again. So what we're going to have to do is open the slot, do ourselves a U2, and then pop it in. Now what we have here is our white and orange piece has just miraculously appeared for us in a very convenient way. So it's that very easy algorithm, just move it out of the way, open up the slot, pop our piece in, and then put it down again. And there you go. We start to build it piece by piece. And then I notice this white and orange right here, and this guy needs to go down here, but we just had to bring it out into the up and the front layer, and it's one of those problematic cases. So we do the algorithm, open our slot, do a U2, pop it down again, and then we have it in the right orientation for us. So we move it out the way, open the slot, pop the piece in correctly, and then pop it down again. And there you go, there's 3 of our 4 edges done. Okay, so finally we want to do our green edge, and this is basically exactly the same, so we just need to find it on the puzzle itself, and we have it right up here. So, white is on top, you should know how to do this now. Just like so, pop it in. So then we need to find our other 2 pieces. So we have one of them here, and this is a really easy case, just move it out of the way, open our slot, pop the piece in, and put it down. And then the last piece is actually back here, and this is going to be problematic as well, but we bring it into the up front face, and then we do our algorithm, open the slot, do a U2, put it back, then move it out of the way, open the slot, pop our piece in, and down it goes, and there you go. We have our white cross absolutely finished. This looks a little bit like what you'd get with the Hoya method, except of course we have two centers not built. And what we need to do is obviously those next. So we need to do this somehow without messing up what we've already built here. And this is actually a lot easier than you might expect. What we do is we do an F move, and then we do an L move, and now we're free to move these layers any way we want as if it was reduction. We just need to be a little bit careful about it. So obviously this is going to be our green face, so I'm going to pop this nice big trio down here like so. And then we have only two pieces left. We can use commutators with this as well, very easy. So if we want to switch these two, it's a very easy algorithm to do so, just as if it was reduction. And then these final two pieces here, again, very easy to do. And because we moved our two edges out of the way, we are able to solve our two final centers without messing anything up. And when you've done it, all you need to do is reverse it with an L prime and an F prime, and there you go. We have reached this stage of the 5x5 as if we were using Yao on the 4x4. That means 6 of our centers are done and the first 4 white edges are complete. So it depends on what type of cuber you are with what you do next, but what I do is I just go for the free slice. I'm not that bothered about using any kind of algorithmic method for my edge pairing, so we can do this pretty quickly actually. So first thing I notice is this nice block here, so I'm going to pop in this orange and blue like this, match them up. And then I see this nice block over here, so I'm going to keep an eye out for the yellow and blue, which is over here. Bring this down into our slice, and then pop this guy down across like so. Then when I match them up, I'm going to keep an eye on this layer up here, see if there's anything nice that I can use. At the moment there's not really, so I'm just going to pop in a random edge. I see this nice block here that matches up with this green and red, so I'm going to do that switch algorithm to flip this guy around, do the match up, and then when I'm putting this piece up into the top layer, I want to bring down this orange and yellow because that's going to match up with these two over here. So I do so pretty easily, make the match up with the orange and yellow, and then we have no choice but to just bring down this nice piece here. But I'm going to do it in the correct way. I want green to be facing on the front face so it matches up with this guy nice and easily. So we can do that, and then we just restore our centers because it's our last 4 edges. Now because we were a little bit clever with our edge pairing, we have a really nice setup here where only 3 edges are left. So I'm going to pop this guy just in the top layer. I'm going to match up the yellow and red with these 2 yellow and reds here, and then I'm going to pop this unfinished edge down into the kind of slice, make the move back, and then what we're going to do here, unfortunately we do have parity, so I'm going to have to make the match move, flip the piece around, and then pop it back. So we have one kind of orientation parity here. I'm just going to have to quickly do the algorithm for this, but you know, it happens sometimes and it can't be helped. So I'm just going to have to do the flip algorithm. There you go. And as you can see, we have now solved the 5x5, or at least we have reduced it into a 3x3. For those of you wondering why I put the edge in the up front layer just for that flip algorithm, if I was to rotate the cube and do it here, I'd actually mess up this cross that we've already made. So if you are going to do the orientation parity, you do need to make sure it is in the up and the front face and that your cross is still on the bottom. Okay, so the next step obviously is to just solve the puzzle as a 3x3. So I'm going to do that right now. Please bear with me if I'm not using the most efficient method of doing so. I'm pretty rusty with 3x3 at the moment. I haven't solved one in a few weeks, which is unfortunate. Okay, so there's our F2L done. So we move on to our OLL now. Again, still on tulip because I haven't learned any algorithms recently. And then finally our PLL, and it looks like we have a G-perm. Okay, and there you go, our 5x5 is solved. That took a pretty long time, but I did want to go into detail with how this method works, and hopefully you guys have learned something new about how you solve the 5x5 using the Hoya method. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed. Again, I'm so sorry that it is late, and I'm sorry if you guys aren't really interested in these walkthrough type videos. I just really wanted to get something out rather than skip a week of videos. If you have any questions regarding the Hoya method on 5x5 or 4x4, please let me know. I've been learning a lot about this method and I think it's really awesome. I would definitely recommend it for those of you who perhaps are just getting better at reduction and want to try something different. This method is definitely pretty fast and yeah, it's pretty fun to learn as well. Anyway guys, that is it from me for this video. I hope you've enjoyed. Remember, give it a like, leave a comment down below, and then of course subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have an awesome day.